The views and opinions expressed on this program do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of 580 WCHS, its employees, or WVRC Media. From the studios of WVRC Media, the country, the United States of America, the state, West Virginia, the city, Charleston. This is the Dave Allen Show on 580 Live. And your host.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
He's kind of a big deal.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
Dave Allen.
And a good Thursday morning to you. Welcome to the show. We're in the Jarrett Construction Studios, right on time, right on budget. Visit jarrett-construction.com. Phone calls to the show, a service of Guarantee Bank, 1320 Kanawha Boulevard East in Charleston. Guarantee Bank, your community, your bank, your story. Texting services provided by West Virginia's finest men's store, Tony the Tailor, Virginia Street in Charleston. Come check out Tony's selection of new polos, tees, wovens, shorts, swimwear, and more from Johnny O. And complete your look with the new summer loafers as well. Check out bestmastertailor.com or Tony's Facebook page for more information. Guarantee Bank hotline 304-345-5858. Tony the Tailor text 304-935-5008. Thursday edition of the show. We are one step closer to the weekend. Metro News meteorologist Brian Hughes tells us a good-looking day, basically here in the Kanawha Valley, should make it to the mid to upper 60s, dip down to around 40 tonight. Brian calls tomorrow, his words, absolute perfection. Again, his words, wall-to-wall sunshine. Highs in the low 70s. Great couple nights to take in Ribfest and Marmet. Saturday, so much going on. Ribfest continuing, Foam at the Dome, East End Yard Sale, Stephen Jennings Yard Sale, which, by the way, is now sold out to vendors. Tunnel to Towers going on at Ripley. Farmers Market, South Charleston. You know, all the things going on this Saturday for Mother's Day weekend. Weather looks like it will be cooperating for that as well. Maybe a little rain, they say, on early Saturday morning, but other than that, should be in pretty good shape. Download the Metro News television app for Brian's forecast with his team of meteorologists and also on social media as well. Coming up on the show this morning, Sean Hill of KRT is here. We are going to introduce you to another couple of candidates. Jared Page will join us. He's running for a seat on the Kanawha County Commission. And the gentleman across from me is running to keep his seat as a Kanawha County Magistrate. He is Harry Carpenter. Harry, welcome to the show. Thanks for being here.
Morning, Dave.
You were appointed to the seat, and now you have to run to keep it. Talk about your appointment to Magistrate Court and how it's worked out for you.
It's worked out quite well. I mean, there really weren't any surprises. When you go in feet on the ground. Mm-hmm. Time to go to work. And I'll tell you, the only I don't want to use the word surprise, but the thing that opened my eyes and has opened my eyes this past year has been the magistrate assistants. I tell you, those folks over there, they keep that court going. Mm-hmm. And my assistant, Carrie Reveal, she had, from day one, she just points and shoots, and there we went.
What exactly does a magistrate's assistant do? Explain that.
Everything. Everything. They set the hearings, they mail the notices, they keep the docket going. They're with you on the bench, and as you make your rulings, you know, they enter them into the database, mm-hmm. and they're really the unsung heroes, I'm telling you. And, you know, I spent many, many, many years in that building with the sheriff's office, and it's just one of those positions you took for granted, you know. Yeah. You never saw the stress. And,
well, without good backup support and good teams, no matter what the job is, it doesn't work. It doesn't work.
Absolutely. And, you know, through the course of the year, you know, you work with several different assistants. Mm-hmm. If you're filling in for a magistrate, then you work with that magistrate's assistant. And they all, I have no complaints about any of them. They all got their ducks in a row. You know?
Give us the bio on Harry Carpenter. You talked about your time in the sheriff's office, but pre-magistrate or outside magistrate court, who is Harry Carpenter?
Well, I worked for the sheriff's office for 25 years. Well, actually, with my part-time service there, almost 30 years. And I guess maybe the last 15 or so since Mike Rutherford, his first term as sheriff, I was the chief of their home confinement section. So I was in and out of the court every day, and worked with the magistrates and the circuit judges and the prosecutors and defense attorneys. So when I say this wasn't new to me, it wasn't new. And I retired, and Magistrate Pauly, when he took his retirement, I got a call from Chief Judge Kenny Ballard asking if I was interested, and absolutely. So here we are.
What was it about not just magistrate, Harry, but also your time with the sheriff's department and other things you did? Why is that important to you to serve people?
Well, you know how the system works. And in my position with the sheriff's office, I got a little closer to the people within the system. I mean, we were in their homes. We saw them weekly. So, again, when I say that it wasn't a big transition for me, it wasn't. And sometimes that's a good thing. Sometimes it can be a bad thing. I mean, you've got to understand that, when you're sitting on the bench, you have to be unbiased. You can't take one side or the other. You just listen to what's presented and you make a rational decision. To be honest, you've still got that law enforcement brain, and you got to fight to keep that to the side. And I think I've done a good job with that.
As somebody who was in law enforcement, does it give you a little bit of an advantage being a magistrate?
Well, I think it does, because again, if you spend a lot of time in the court, you know the system and how the court works. So, and being a magistrate, if you get appointed particularly, or if you get elected, you go to work. I mean, there is, I guess it's just basically OJT, on the job training, and you go to work. But let me tell you, if you don't have a background into it, you're going to lean on them assistants. Yeah. Okay? They're going to be your lifeblood to learning.
What are some of the biggest misconceptions you think the public has about the job of a magistrate or magistrate court?
Well, it just doesn't. In the magistrate court, of course, the magistrate, I like to look at it as the magistrate is the hub of the wheel. Okay? You have the spokes, which are the prosecutors, the defense attorneys, the defendants, the law enforcement, the witnesses, and, of course, the assistants. When that wheel's rolling, everything's fine. But if just one of those fractures, then, that's when you have to start making tough decisions. And, fortunately for us, we've got the magistrate court as itself has a good team of prosecutors, and the public defender's office is, to me, second to none of any in this state. I mean, those are very hard-working individuals and realistic, So a lot of times with the cases, you hope that everybody can get their heads together and we can come to a resolution. And that happens for the majority of the time.
Someone once said to me that if you're in magistrate court, Harry, and again, we're talking with Harry Carpenter, who's a Kanawha County magistrate. Someone once told me in magistrate court, it could be the best day of your life or the worst day of your life.
I don't know if it's going to be the worst day of your life.
Too dramatic, maybe?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be the worst day of your life. I mean, on a day-to-day basis, we're just dealing with misdemeanor crimes, okay? So, it's not the end of the world. Now, so people that have never been involved in the system, yeah, it could be traumatic. I mean, if you've never been arrested before and you get arrested and charged with a crime, sure, it could be traumatic for you. You don't know. But, the only felonies that we handle is the preliminary hearing. Okay.
Yeah.
And
that's what you see on TV. That's when they bring in somebody that's accused of something.
That could be a bad day of your life,
It is interesting, I think, because I think sometimes the public thinks that the magistrate, and I'm not trying to downplay the magistrate court at all, but I think sometimes people think that the magistrates have more power than they actually do. They have a big, thick code book right there, and that pretty much tells you what you can and can't do. What is it that makes up the majority of magistrates' dockets here in Kanawha County?
I tell you, for me personally, I've seen a big influx of domestic crimes. I mean, a lot of domestic crimes. And, of course, our prosecutor, she has a tough stance on domestic crimes, which is a good thing. Mm-hmm. But domestics just seems to be on the rise for some reason. Minor drug charges, obviously you're going to see them every day, but, and DUIs, but, the aggravating ones are your trespassing and your shoplifters. Mm-hmm. A
lot of repeat offenders there too.
Yes,
it seems.
Yes. And that's a sad testament.
Yeah. Do you have a website or social media or anything people can learn more about you?
No, just me.
Just you.
Just me.
All right, then final 30, just you. Why should someone vote to keep Harry Carpenter as Kanawha County Magistrate?
Well, I'm doing the job because I want to do it. It's not because I was bored being retired. It's not because somebody said, hey, do you want to do this? I have run in the past, and I wanted the job. And in doing such, I try to bring as much common sense to the job as I can, and I try to run a quick docket. It's not a cattle call. If you're scheduled at 9 o'clock, I won't hear you at 9 o'clock. Mm-hmm. And I don't try. I am fair. I am fair and unbiased, and that's how I run the court.
Harry Carpenter, Kanawha County Magistrate. Appreciate you being here, man. Thanks a lot.
Dave, I appreciate you having me, brother.
All right. Good luck to you. Hold on one second. It's 9:19. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by Pinnacle Consultants. When environmental questions come up in a building, Pinnacle provides clear answers, specializing in asbestos, lead, mold, and indoor air quality issues. Accredited lab testing based right here in West Virginia. Learn more at pinnaclecorp.net, helping you understand your environment, because what you don't know can hurt you. We'll take a break. Back after this on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Brought to you by the Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses. Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses live to make life better for you and your family.
Charleston, there's a new bank in town, but it's built on something timeless: relationships. Guarantee Bank is now open on the Boulevard, bringing community banking back to the Kanawha Valley. We're local decision makers, real people, and a team that understands West Virginia business. Whether you're growing your company, buying a home, or planning for the future, we're here to help. Stop by our new Charleston branch at 1320 Kanawha Boulevard and experience banking the way it should be. Guarantee Bank, where community comes first.
At Walker Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram and Hurricane, 10 years means more than just an anniversary. It means 10 years of trust, 10 years of service, and 10 years of building lasting relationships with drivers throughout our community. So what's the secret to longevity in the car business? Well, if you ask Gene and Ryan, they're going to tell you that it's pretty simple. You see, that's because they built their business the old-fashioned way, by making friends. There are no gimmicks or games at Walker, just honest, fair deals. Like right now, you can take up to $11,000 off MSRP on a new Ram 1500 and then finance it at just 2.9% APR for 72 months for qualified buyers. And that's just one of the great deals that you're going to find during their 10th anniversary sale that's going on right now. As a matter of fact, they have marked down vehicles all across the lot to celebrate their first of many decades in business. So take that short 20-minute drive from Charleston or Huntington to Walker Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, just off the Hurricane exit of I-64. Walker Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, making friends one deal at a time.
Next time you drive through a city, think Charleston. In 1870, Summer Street became the first brick-paved street in the entire world. A local doctor, Mordecai Levi, invented the process to get out of the mud. We didn't just wait for progress to arrive. We laid the foundation for it ourselves. West Virginia, leading the way for 250 years.
Polka Valley is proud to be a part of America's 250th birthday, proudly serving our customers since 1908. Polka Valley, where relationships matter. Member FDIC.
Welcome back to the show. It's 9:22. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by Husson's Pizza. This month, get a large 18-inch pepperoni pizza and any 10-inch whole sub, $23.99. Find your nearest Husson's for dine-in, delivery, pickup at HussonsPizza.com. Guarantee Bank Hotline, 304-345-5858. Tony V. Taylor text, 304-935-5008. Got a text tip on a traffic situation here, just so you know about. Texter says, traffic alert, the McCorkle Street entrance ramp to I-64 east and south South Charleston is closed, causing traffic backups. Also a wreck at McCorkle and Montrose, so down to one lane in both directions. Appreciate the report from the traffic copter, also known as the text line. Guarantee Bank Hotline, 304-345-5858. Tony Vitaylor, text 304-935-5008. Want to welcome in to the show now Jared Page, who is a candidate for Kanawha County Commission on the Republican ticket. How you doing, my friend?
I'm well. About you?
I'm doing well. Who are you? You've been on the show in the past in various roles, but for the people that may not have heard you, give us your bio.
Well, as you said, my name is Jared Page, and I am a candidate for the Kanawha County Commission on the Republican side. Currently, I am the vice mayor and councilman at large for the city of St. Albans. I was born and raised here in Kanawha County. Went to St. Albans High School, proud Red Dragon alumnus, and then graduated from the University of Charleston with undergraduate and graduate degrees. Been here my whole life. Currently, my day job, is I work for the state of West Virginia. As I said earlier, I'm vice mayor for the city of St. Albans. Prior to that, I was the municipal judge for 3.5 years, and I've been around. I've worked in a kind of a multitude of places within the state government and around. So I have a lot of experience, whether that be with our criminal justice system, whether that be with our state legislature, whether that be dealing with constituent matters and protecting our seniors. I have a plethora of experience on the outside. As far as my elected history, I currently serve on the Municipal Utilities Commission board, and so I serve on a water board, wastewater board, stormwater board, as well as chairman of our ordinance committee. So I have a lot of experience when it comes to legislation, working with others, even with others that you may not agree with all the time, to produce what is best for our constituents and throughout all citizens of Kanawha County.
So with all of your experience and all the things that you've done, why the run for county commission?
So I think I come from a unique background. I come from a municipal background as well as a state background. I think that we can apply things that I have done on both to the county level. I first and foremost want to say I believe the county commission has done a great job with dealing with a lot of its programs. But I can bring that, as we know, for the listeners, that Commissioner Lance Wheeler is running for the West Virginia Senate, and so that the seat will be vacated. I'm not running against him. I want to make that abundantly clear. I've had a few people ask me that. And Lance has actually endorsed my candidacy for the county commission to take his spot. But let's talk about things that Kanawha Countyans want. We all know that utilities continue to increase. We know that people are hurting throughout the county. I'm the only candidate in this race that has stood up to utilities. We had a utility try to purchase our water and sewer system. I was the council person who stood up and against that and made sure that our constituents' race stayed at an affordable price. Okay. Our people in Kanawha County care about clean water throughout the county. I'm the only candidate that serves on a water board, wastewater board, and a stormwater board. I have experience in water projects. We're currently dealing and just approved a multi-million-dollar capital improvement plan for water for thousands of Kanawha Countyans. We've improved our stormwaters to deal with the flooding issues that we've had, just minor flooding. I don't want to say major flooding. I have experience with that. Dilapidated structures, that's something that all across Kanawha County people talk about. There can be a hotbed of political activity. You can see where my mind's at. Yeah. Hotbed of criminal activity. I've seen it throughout the county myself. I've experienced doing that when I was municipal judge. One of the largest dilapidated structures in our community came before my court, and we were able to work some things out with that and get that building torn down, and we're working to promote economic development on that property. I think that experience, on top of my passion and enthusiasm and work on a state level as well as municipal level, can bring that all together and work really well for the Kanawha County Commission. I also serve on 2 local school improvement councils, LSIC. I started that this year, something I'm proud to do. I'm proud to work with our school systems to make sure our students have adequate information, are funded well, and help to really get funding and ideas for our school system, our local schools. And while those are local community schools, those ideas can go countywide, and we have seen that. Mm-hmm. And that's something that while the county commission doesn't directly touch schools day to day, that's the role of the county school board. It helps to have a commissioner who is involved and familiar with the school system, have relationships with students, with educators, with administrators, as well as our sheriff's department. Many municipalities have school resource officers, prevention resource officers. My father was actually the first PRO in Kanawha County, and it's important that the schools who are not in city limits, that do not have a municipality uniformed officer there, that our sheriff's department continues to provide a uniformed officer for those schools, as well as collaborate with the resource officer program with the state. And I have that relationship, obviously, with Sheriff Crawford to continue to make that happen. And as a commissioner, I'm able to go to these schools, talk to these children, help them learn, help really improve the school system and generally. And if there's a school that may be in need, I have that experience to do that. I'm also the president of our area Chamber of Commerce. We focused on recruiting jobs throughout our community. Our Chamber of Commerce is not just one city; extends. We have even in different counties, our membership expands. So I think economic development in our county is a very top issue. So that way our citizens have quality jobs here and people want to stay here. Small business is the backbone of any community, any county. And I've said through a multitude of ways, strong community, strong cities equal a strong county. And strong counties equal a strong state. Everything is local. Shop local. I believe it is a small business week this week. So I definitely encourage all of you to get out and shop local for that. And so I think if you combine all of my experience, and one other issue, sports tourism. Look at the success that Shawnee has had. I see people all the time coming in for different events. They're spending money in our communities. They're shopping in our communities. They're going out to eat. I'm the candidate with experience. I was able, alongside our administration, to secure a former school that was consolidated, to negotiate to lease that property for our community as a community center. I have people all the time, their children are coming in for basketball, using that facility. We're having a grand opening, or ribbon cutting, ribbon cutting tomorrow evening. Mm-hmm. And I was also able to secure funding for new pickleball courts for our community. We'll have a grand opening / ribbon cutting in the next few weeks for that. So I've experienced in that. I know that that's something that's important to the county and the county revenue and people coming to our county. And I'm going to continue to use that experience that I just listed in a multitude of areas to bring that to the Kanawha County Commission.
Talking to Jared Page again, who's a candidate for Kanawha County Commission. 9:31, the Dave Allen Show on 580 Line, brought to you in part by the Charleston Dirty Birds. Birds are on the road this week against Staten Island, back at Go-Mart Ballpark on Election Day, Tuesday, the 12th. Get your tickets now at dirtybirdsbaseball.com. As you said, you are running for the seat currently held by Lance Wheeler. He is stepping away. He's still serving now, but to take a run at State Senate. If elected, you'll be working alongside Commission President Ben Salango and Natalie Tennant, the other commissioner. How are you working well with others?
I believe I work very well with others. As a member of a city council of 12 members, you have to be able to work well to get initiatives passed and to collaborate. And I've also seen that firsthand with the state legislature in my experience there. It takes a team to get along with everybody. It takes a team to get things done. And it also takes at a time where we see divisions, within the Republican Party, within the Democratic Party, and definitely those two parties fighting each other. I think it's important to have an individual who can get along with both sides, who has a proven record of being able to work with both sides of the political aisle to get things done. I believe that the Kanawha County Commission is a entity that, well, really county commissions across West Virginia is an entity that needs to focus on results versus partisanship, and that's my passion. I want to get things done. I'm not a talker. I'm a doer, and I think my record in the city of St. Albans as municipal judge and as a city councilman, as well as a multitude of boards, I think that you can see my record of getting things done, not partisanship and not just talking the talk, I walk the walk.
County commissions are kind of different. Kanawha County, you have 3 county commissioners. I mean, there's less than there are, let's say, with Board of Educations, and certainly less than what you have on city councils and the legislature. Yes. There's only 3 of you.
Yes, sir.
And so sometimes, regardless of party, I mean, sometimes you're going to have, 3 different opinions. You're going to have 2 different opinions, and these 2 disagree with this one, and sometimes, you got to, it's a unique way that you got to kind of work it out.
It is.
If there are issues. It may not be, but if there are issues.
Yeah, and it is. And I think the current Structure County Commission I've worked very well with President Salengo, although he is a Dallas Cowboy fan. That's the only kind of downside there.
Here we go. Shots fired.
Yes, I told him I was going to say that. But no, I work very well with President Salengo, and I think his vision for Kanawha County with its economic development and sports tourism plans with the Capital Sports Center. I believe that we will work very well together. I have a relationship with Commissioner Tennant as well from my time at State Capitol while she was there many years ago. So I think I will work very well on the commission. I'm a team player. And I'm always willing to compromise. I'm willing to fight for what I believe in, but I also understand that compromise is the way of the game. And I think that we need to have someone in that position, because I think Lance has done a tremendous job on the county commission. He was able to work with multiple different commissioners during his tenure, and some of the progress that he has made at Meadowood Park and some of the other park projects, as well as bringing economic development here to the county. I really will turn to his counsel on how to be a commissioner, so to speak. And I think he is the standard bearer of how to work with, get along with everyone. I tend to get along with everyone. That may be a fault of mine, but I tend to be friends with everybody because I treat people how I want to be treated. I've been in a room with multiple different I'm not at the same time, but I've been in a room with multiple presidents. I treat them as much as the same as I would treat anybody else, and that's how I've always been. That's how I've governed. Treat people with respect, honesty, transparency, and ethics. At a time, we see what's going on in this state on both sides of the aisle, mudslinging, negative ads, and it's not one party, it's not one group. I'm not singling anybody out. But I try to be ethical, honest, and who I am. And that's how I was raised. I was son of a law enforcement officer. I was raised that way, and that's how I'm going to govern. And that's how I plan to work with President Salengo and Commissioner Tennant on multitude of projects. You
have a social media or website where people can learn more about you?
Yes, you can go to Facebook. I've got a campaign Facebook page, as well as a website that just has a little bit about me and a generic background about me. Yes, sir. If it's under Jared Page for County Commission, you can type up.
All right. Final 30, why should someone vote for Jared Page for Kanawha County Commission?
Okay, well, the County Commission is an important position. We all know that. The Kanawha County Commission deserves a candidate, someone who has experience in fighting back against utility rates to keep more money in your pocket. The County Commission deserves someone who has a track record of success in water projects, wastewater projects, and stormwater projects. So that way, and to ensure that all Kanawha Countyans have clean drinking water. They also deserve someone who has experience keeping our community safe and our schools safe. And I'm that candidate. I don't like to be selfish or brag about it. That's not who I am. But the contrast is clear. I have experience in what actually matters in Kanawha County, not just writing checks. I have real experience, and I'm going to bring that from a municipal standpoint and a state standpoint to the Kanawha County Commission. I look forward to serving all the Kanawha Countyans and humbly ask for your support this coming Tuesday or for the rest of early voting.
Jared Page, I appreciate you being here. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much. I want to give one shout out to a friend of mine who's got to have a big day. St. Alban's name is Morgan. She got a little event tonight. She's really nervous about it. So I told her I was going to give her a shout out and good luck tonight. So I got to give her a shout out. And Dave, I just want to say thank you for everything. And I hope everything's going well with your health. And we've been praying for you and really hope everything's going well.
I appreciate it. Thanks a lot, man.
Thank you.
We're going to take a break. Sean Hill from KRT is coming up 22 minutes away from 10. Back after this on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Brought to you by the Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses. Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses want to thank you for supporting local small businesses.
Running a business in the Kanawha Valley means dealing with a lot at once. Customers, employees, deadlines, and 100 little problems that pop up during the day. Technology shouldn't be one of them. At Next Level Technologies, we help Charleston area businesses keep their systems secure, backed up, and running smoothly so the workday stays on track. If you're spending too much time dealing with computer problems, it may be time for a better approach. Learn more at nextleveltech.com. Next Level Technologies, practical IT, strategic outcomes.
Sears Monument Company, the art of remembering. West Virginia's oldest memorial company since 1911. Sears Monument produces and installs monuments in West Virginia, southeastern Ohio, and eastern Kentucky. Over 2,000 memorials in stock, including markers, upright memorials, memorial benches, and cremation memorials. Find out more online at searsmonument.com or by calling 304-342-4158. Sears Monument with locations in Charleston, Beckley, Parkersburg, and Huntington.
Poca Valley has proudly served the citizens of Roane, Kanawha, Putnam, and surrounding counties for over a century. As your trusted community bank, we're committed to building relationships and meeting your financial needs. And with the Poca Valley Visa card, you can enjoy competitive interest rates, no annual fees, and a rewarding points program, all from a bank you know and trust. Visit your local Poca Valley office to apply or call us. Poca Valley, where relationships matter. Member FDIC.
Looking for a new commercial space for your business? Goldman Associates is hosting a real estate auction for a 2-story commercial office building located at 4701 McCorkle Avenue Southeast in Kanawha City. The building is 13,600 square feet with on-site parking and recent renovations. Online bidding begins May 14th at 8:30 a.m. and on-site bidding May 21st at 11 a.m. Preview available by appointment. See more online at goldmanassociates.org or call 304-343-5695. 10% buyer's premium apply. J. Goldman, broker, auctioneer, Goldman Associates, Inc., 1014 Bridge Road, Charleston, West Virginia. Welcome back to the show, 19 away from 10 on a Thursday morning. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by the all-new Generations Ford of Hurricane. Visit generationsford.com. Coming up on the show tomorrow, it's Friday, means Angie Gillenwater from the Kanawha Charleston Humane Association is here with this week's Adopt Me Please Pet of the Week, brought to you by Almost Heaven Interiors of South Charleston. We'll have more info at the Dome, which is Saturday on the Boulevard. The V100 Steve and Jenny yard sale now sold out for vendors, but you can still attend. We have Steve and Jenny on the show with me to talk about it tomorrow. Plus, Sarah Brown, who's a candidate for Board of Education of Putnam County, will join me. It's all on tomorrow's show. Later on today, Metro News Midday. No Amanda Barron. I'm flying the ship solo today. We'll continue focusing on some of the more heated races ahead of the primary election this Tuesday. Michael Jarouche, who is a Republican running for state Senate, is going to join me to talk about some of the attacks that he's had lobbed against him. Former Secretary of State Natalie Tennant, who serves as a Kanawha County Commissioner, was in Tennessee for her daytime job, speaking on voting issues, something that she's very passionate about. And she's very concerned about some redistricting that's going on across the country, not in West Virginia, but across the country. We're going to talk to Natalie Tennant about that, plus more on Phone with the Dome. Dave Wilson will stop by. Jeff Jenkins has the news. And, of course, Open Line West Virginia, Metro News Midday. Just me today, powered by Salango Law, coming up at noon. Welcome into the show now, Sean Hill of KRT. Good morning, sir. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Dave. Thanks for having me on.
Now, what office are you running for, sir?
Oh, thankfully, I'm going to make it easy for your listeners, and I'm not saying vote for this person or that person. Just want to talk to you about the public safety.
Have you ever, in all seriousness, though, and you and I have been friends a long time, you ever considered running for office?
I would consider it even less nowadays with the atmosphere that you see, and if I did, I would hope I could focus more on here's why you should vote for me, not here's why you should not vote for someone else.
All right, well, that could be down the line at some point. One thing, though, speaking of elections, that I don't think has gotten a whole lot of oxygen this primary season is the Kanawha County Public Safety Levy. What is it? What does it do? And why is it so important to KRT?
Sure. So the Public Safety Levy has been around for almost 54 years, so longer than I've been here on Earth. And, it's an opportunity for the citizens of Kanawha County to say, hey, there are things that are unanimously important to us. That is the public safety. So when we talk about first responders, we talk about volunteer fire departments, we talk about ambulance, you talk about protective equipment for our law enforcement, and you talk about public transit. And we're kind of the outlier there. You think, hey, why are buses public safety? But we recognize the importance of the levy. It provides about 60% funding for KRT. So I got asked the question earlier, what would KRT look like without the public safety levy? And the answer is just, to be honest, is it wouldn't look anything like KRT does today. So tremendously important to us. And we're really proud that it has been in existence for so long. And again, not a new tax, but just actually.
And that's the number one question that you get is people say, and this is something that a lot of people just, may not remember. And this, you kind of talked about this, how this primary has been so far that, it's kind of got out of the public eye a little bit on the safety levy, but it's not a new tax, as you say. It's been in existence for how many years?
It's been about 54 years now.
54 years now.
Yeah.
All right, because that's the number one question I know you get. Is this going to raise my taxes?
No. And so it's definitely not. And what it's going to do is allow us to continue to serve all areas of the county. It's going to allow, when God forbid you need an ambulance to show up, it's going to show up thanks to this levy. Mm-hmm. If you live in one of the communities that need access from a VFD to show up if your house catches on fire, the public safety, kind of the things that I think we can all agree upon are so important for Kanawha County. This just continues that path forward to allow us to continue to address those problems when they pop up. And one of the things too, that happens when you talk about KRT and how is this public safety. We do a lot with our 1 million passengers we take a year, on the bus service that you think of KRT for, but we do so much more. We move about 50,000 individuals a year in paratransit trips. So people who may have mobility challenges, we take them door to door to medical appointments. We take them to the grocery store, to school, to work. So we like to say we connect people to opportunity, and this is a way that we do that. And we also do some other things behind the scenes that we don't talk about enough, but we appreciate that we get a chance to do it. So situations like a few weeks ago, that tragedy in Institute, when first responders need someone to show up and move a large group of people quick, they call KRT. We also manage the Kanawha County Fuel Consortium, where we provide fueling services for sheriffs, ambulance, senior services, about almost 100 agencies, which has saved almost $500,000 already this year in taxpayer dollars. So we're really proud of those contracts that we help manage and administer. And it's little things that you don't think about. And hey, I may never ride the bus, but as a taxpayer, I hope you know that we are doing everything we can to be responsible with your funds.
And a lot of people listening right now, we're going, well, I had no idea that they did that.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to talk about that more. I want to talk about that situation. I know you don't like to pat yourselves on the back, but that was a very, very tense situation. And tragically, a couple people, lost their lives out there a couple of weeks ago in the chemical spill there in Institute, and or the chemical incident is, I think, is the correct term for it. And you said that, and I know we were talking about it on the air, that KRT was involved in that. And you do a lot of planning for, as you said, moving mass numbers of people, into medical facilities. How did that work out?
Yeah. And so, we don't pretend that we're first responders day in and day out like the rest of the individuals that are supported through this public safety levy, but we are really proud of the role we play. So working with emergency management, we do scenarios, basically tabletop exercises or drills that we go through a couple times a year to be prepared. And thankfully, the majority of the time when we get called out, it's for a flood or some situation where they want us to stage, and we haven't been used as often, thankfully. But there are instances where, we get a call on our evac team, which is made up of different volunteers at our staff, our supervisors. And this time I was so proud because by the time I got to the end of the hallway, 2 buses had already been dispatched on the way to the Institute. Mm-hmm. So we're driving down there saying, hey, when we get there, we're going to look for emergency management, and CW Sigmund's going to tell us, hey, here's what you can do. And it really went flawless, and I appreciate our operators for performing that. And again, it is something kind of quiet we don't like to talk about because we hope it doesn't happen, but I do want people to know that when those situations arise, we're going to be there.
I do want to pass this note along to you, totally unrelated to anything Sean's talking about. Well, we did have that traffic alert that was texted into us about 20 minutes or so ago, and I haven't had an update on that, but we were told at that time the McCorkle Street entrance ramp to I-64 East and South Charleston closed, traffic backups. Also, texter said there's a wreck on McCorkle and Montrose, so down to one lane in both those areas. That was about 20 minutes ago. Just want to make sure everybody realizes that. With the high price of gas, Sean, are you seeing more people choosing KRT?
We are. And so last month, we were proud to see about a 4% increase in ridership. And this April over last April, it's up 5%. So when people are going out and they're looking and saying, hey, $4 or more a gallon versus $1.50 to ride the bus, we're seeing people choosing the bus. And so I hope that people can look into our service and say, hey, maybe I've never decided that this was an option for me, but when I look at my wallet, it's much easier for me to ride the bus, and we're doing everything we can to attract new passengers and inform them of how to use our service.
What else is new with KRT?
So another thing I want to make sure I say for the upcoming election on the 12th, we are doing a fare-free day on Tuesday, May 12th. So any individuals, it doesn't matter where you're going, you don't have to be going to the polling place, but we want to make sure it's as easy as possible for people to get out and vote. It doesn't matter what you vote for. We're not telling you how to do that. But we want to make sure that it's as easy as possible. That includes individuals who take our paratransit trips. We'll take you door to door. Or if you're riding the bus on just like a normal Tuesday, it's going to be free on election day. And I appreciate my board.
So it doesn't matter whether you're going to the board,
Exactly.
I mean to the polling place or whatever, you're going to ride for free on Tuesday.
Correct. We don't think that, having access to private transportation should be a prerequisite to doing the things you want to do in Kanawha County. So whether that's going to work, school, medical appointment, or going to vote. And then on Tuesday, May 12th, we'll be able to do that for free. So we're really proud to offer that service.
The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live brought to you in part by Morgan & Morgan. With more than $20 billion recovered, they believe that when you're injured, you deserve more. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. I'm going to give you like the final, just like you're a candidate, because, with all the candidates, I do the final 30, and I say, tell us why someone should vote for you. So for this, I'm going to say on the emergency levy, your final 30.
Yes, and so I'm technically not allowed to say vote for the safety levy, but I can tell you how important it is to KRT.
That's all you got to do.
I can tell you how important it is to the ambulance authority. I can tell you how important it is to police and to volunteer fire. I hope that in your lifetime you don't have to use these services in Kanawha County, but there may come a time that you do need it. And this public safety levy is exactly what keeps those services moving forward for years in the future. And we're really proud to be a part of it and appreciate the support we've received over the last 50 years.
Sean Hill, KRT, it's always a pleasure to have you on the show. Thanks a lot.
Sir.
10 minutes away from 10, back after this on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
The Dave Allen Show is presented in part by Generations Ford in Hurricane, part of the Eric J. Tarr family of businesses.
I'm Doug Leach, founder and CEO of Ascension Recovery Services. We've done a number of projects with Jarrett Construction. Finding people that really care about what they do and care about what we do is pretty unique. In Jarrett Construction, they care. They're really, really good people. Good people do the right thing, and they're very skilled. They have all the qualities that make up just a perfect construction partner, and they just built us a phenomenal building.
Right on time, right on budget. Call on Jarrett Construction.
I'm Tom Willis, running against Shelley Capito for U.S. Senate. Sarah and I love raising our kids here in West Virginia. You're the best people in the world, and it has been my honor to serve West Virginia for 26 years in the West Virginia National Guard, including flood duties all over our great state, and now in the state Senate. Shelley has abandoned our West Virginia traditional Christian family values, is ranked as one of the top insider traders in the U.S. Senate, and instead of negotiating for West Virginia families, got her son appointed as DA. I'm Tom Willis, and I approve this message because it's time for a change, West Virginia.
Paid for by Tom Willis Victory. Charleston, there's a new bank in town, but it's built on something timeless: relationships. Guarantee Bank is now open on the Boulevard, bringing community banking back to the Kanawha Valley. We're local decision makers, real people, and a team that understands West Virginia business. Whether you're growing your company, buying a home, or planning for the future, we're here to help. Stop by our new Charleston branch at 1320 Kanawha Boulevard and experience banking the way it should be. Guarantee Bank, where community comes first.
Injured? Call Morgan & Morgan. We'll always be here for the people, not the powerful. We'll always be here for you.
Office 222 Capitol Street, Charleston. Cases will be handled by West Virginia licensed attorneys. The attorney in this ad is not licensed in West Virginia. ForThePeople.com.
The latest in news, talk, and sports when 580 WCHS is brought to you by Jarrett Construction. Call 304-344-9140 for more information.
Right on time, right on budget. Call on Jarrett Construction.
8 away from 10. Be sure and join me every Friday morning at 9:06 for the Adopt Me Please Pet of the Week from the Kanawha Charleston Humane Association. Brought to you by Almost Heaven Interiors, family owned, proudly serving the community for over 50 years, specializing in custom blinds, shades, shutters, upholstery, and beautifully crafted sewn goods from homes to hospitals, classrooms to commercial space. They do it all. They're located at 516 D Street in South Charleston. Text says, Dave, I saw where CEO pay raises went up 27%, middle class workers 1%, and just heard that our power bill going up again. It'll be next. It'll be water wanting their share. This is why Republicans needed voted out. They did nothing to address this runaway train, and also a lot on this person's mind. Need to unionize every big business in the state to get back what they've stolen from the middle class, says a texter. Let's go to the phones. Bob, you're on the show. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Dave.
Yes.
It's starting to look like we ought to organize a No Kings rally against Patrick Morrissey.
Okay. Then why so?
Because he's acting like a king, trying to get his pawns into the legislature so he can direct their every move.
He said, though, Bob, I appreciate it, but he said that yesterday in an interview that's his First Amendment right. Jenny mentioned a couple other people. Governor Morrissey said it is his First Amendment right to say whatever he wants. To that, you would say what?
Well, it is his right, but what's his reason for it?
Well, I mean, obviously, he wants to have people in office that he thinks are going to further his agenda. I'm not speaking for the governor, but I mean, I think that's a pretty fair statement.
That's exactly what, and they will follow his every whim.
Well, that's why we have elections, and the early voting's going on now. We'll talk about that a little bit, and Election Day is Tuesday.
The representatives are elected to represent their district, not to bow down to everything Morrissey wants to do.
All right. Bob, we appreciate your phone call. Thanks a lot. Early voting does continue today in the state. Kanawha County, you can early vote through Saturday at the Voters Office on Courier, Girl Scouts at the Black Diamond Council on the West End, the Town Halls in Marmet, Bell, and St. Albans, Sheriff's Detachment in Cross Lane, Sissonville Library, the West Sats Community Center in Nitro, and the Community Center in Elkview. And Putnam, you can early vote at Valley Park Conference Center in Hurricane and at the Putnam County Courthouse in Winfield. All the county clerks saying voter turnout has been very low. Election Day is Tuesday, of course, and you can vote then 6:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. And we invite you to join our election coverage locally on the network starting at 7 Tuesday night. Wilson Meadows, myself, Jeff Jenkins, Daniel Woods, Jack Carlson, Morgan Pemberton, Greg Hunter, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We are your election night source for all the things. Metro News on the network and the voice of Charleston here in WCHS. Texas, West Virginia is being bastardized by out-of-state money, and West Virginia deserves it. All I have to say is blank the shareholders, says a texter. Do want to remind you, Foam at the Dome is back for the 10th year. Come join your favorite WVRC Media Charleston station for Foam at the Dome, presented by Encova Insurance this Saturday. Craft beer samples from West Virginia and beyond, live music on 2 City National Bank stages, and several food and artisan vendors, all happening on Kanawha Boulevard in front of the Capitol Dome. VIP early access starting at 3, and it is $55. General admission is $45. Remember, if you are a non-drinker and you are a designated driver, you get in for free. For tickets, foamcwv.com, foamcwv.com. Foam at the Dome is a fundraiser produced by Charleston Urban Works. Look who's here. It's Ted Theodore. I always change your first name. Teresa Meadows.
Do you even know what the T stands for?
You told me once, but I wasn't listening.
That's funny.
TJ Meadows is coming up at Talk Line at 10:06 along with Dave Wilson. What do you think about Bob's call there?
So a couple of things. Number one, I did not know that someone in government, agency, individual, had somehow threatened the governor's speech when it comes to politics.
Mm-hmm. He said that yesterday. I mean, he didn't say the threatening part, but he said he has a First Amendment right.
But the First Amendment protects you from government intervention on your speech. It has nothing to do with the private market. Here's the thing. He can say whatever he wants. Doesn't mean it's not going to be immune to public opinion. Doesn't mean the market is not going to act on it. Also, I think it's glaring. I'm exercising my First Amendment rights, like Shelley Moore Capito, like Senator Capito. Fine. Who started all this? Who threw the first punch? I know. Do you?
You're alluding to Governor Patrick Morrissey.
Yeah. So, isn't that a bit hypocritical?
But here's the thing, to play devil's advocate here, and I've said this on the show and the shows many times, TJ, is governors have done this in the past. Elected officials have.
Sure they have.
But I don't know that they have been as overt about it. There's always been conversation over a cocktail at a ball game, church. Well, it shouldn't be a church, but supermarkets, whatever the case may be, when they said, hey, or a phone call, we need to get Ryan in office because Ryan is the guy that is going to work with me.
And you know what? That's a good thing.
Right.
Okay, fine. Own it. And look, man, there's nothing new under the sun here. But I do think, and I'm going back to an ad I just saw this morning, the relationship that we have with truth in these ads is so cavalier. It is so lacking in context. The truth is absolute, and it is complete. Either give me the entire truth and don't parse out part of it in order to make your case and ignore the rest of it.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, I just don't think that is our best self. That's wrong. And somebody needs to say that. And until we all start saying, stop giving me half-truths, we're not going to be any better.
But who says that? If
somebody ought to.
You and I have.
This is how you lose the republic.
You and I have a platform on the radio, but for people that don't follow this stuff, we have a tendency to think that everybody is in deep in this is what we are.
America ain't free, buddy. You got to participate.
And people see these. Oh, I didn't know this, and there's a lot of, quite frankly, editorial comment here. There is a lot of crap out there right now that is absolutely not true, playing loose with the facts, playing on fears that don't exist.
Yeah. It's hard, man. Democracy's hard. A republic's hard. You have to want it.
What you got on your show today?
So coming up at 10:06, Dave and I are going to do something. I lost my notes. I apologize.
I heard it was interpretive dance. That's what I heard. It was interpretive dance. They're coming up with 10:06. It'll be a fantastic show. Trust me, I saw the lineup earlier.
Howard Monroe.
I'll see you later today on Midday. And tomorrow, right back here. Until then, have fun and love somebody.
WCHS AM, 96.5 FM Charleston, 104.5 Cross Lanes, a WVRC media station. We're proud to live here too.